Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Makakwadash. I want to give double honor to the apostles, the elders, and the men of great millstone, as well as those men who preach and teach the likewise doctrine with no compromises, not mixing it to fix it. I want to say shalom to all the Akim and few Akwat that may be listening. This is your brother Batakala Yahweh from the GMS camp here in Chicago. And I'm back at you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. And just wanted to make a quick little in-transit video while I'm on my way to the plantation real quick. And you know, I was just watching one of the elder apostles videos and got some inspiration to do a lesson, and the title of this lesson is going to be Y'all Must Have Forgot, in the spirit of the great boxer Roy Jones Jr. And really what inspired the lesson was that the elder apostle Tahar did a response to a video of these two Jakes getting their child taken away by Esau. And I assume it's because they didn't want to change their name to Pretty Tony, but you know, I mean, that's how it is. But see, the problem with Jake is that Jake has forgotten where they at, man. Jake doesn't understand that they are behind enemy lines here. And Jake definitely doesn't understand that they're property. Everybody in this society, with the exception of the elite bankers, are property. That includes the President of the United States. That includes Joe Sixpack walking down the street. If you have a Social Security card and a birth certificate, that means that you are property and you have been traded on the stock market. Okay, that includes me. That includes anybody that has these documents in any country on the planet Earth. Okay, and some countries don't have a social security system per se, but your birth certificate still functions as that same type of document. All right, but these Jakes are losing their mind because they having their child taken away, and it's understandable. I get it, but that's really just the tip of the iceberg, man. The scriptures say that the time of Jacob's trouble is not going to be like a time ever experienced before. Now, those of us that are students of history understand that Jake has been suffering or has been going through this Edomite taking their kids for quite some time now. And you know, it's not as prevalent or out in the open as it was back in, you know, the times of the antebellum South, etc., but it still has not stopped happening, and it continues to happen. And as a matter of fact, let me take that statement back, because it is out front. It's just not, when it comes to Judah and other southern kingdom, Jake, it's not as out front. But guess what? All of these camps that they got down at the border, they put in Issachar and various other northern kingdom Israelites, you know, Zebulon, etc., in these camps who are trying to come, these Jakes are trying to come into this country, and they get caught and they get put in these camps prior to getting quote unquote deported. And what happens? Their children go missing. And I mean, you know, we know how he gets down. These kids are being taken and they're being used for witchcraft type rituals and other nefarious purposes, man. So they've been out front with this, man. And it's not against the law. There is no problem with it. And it's on the news openly. Nobody cares. Nobody does anything about it. All right. So this is not anything new. Jake just has allowed themselves to be lulled to sleep and to forget. You know what I'm saying? But you know, the scripture says that the devil's going to come down with great wrath, knowing that they have but a short time. And as mentioned before, Jacob's trouble is going to be a time like no other. So there are going to be other things that we have not been made privy to as far as what this Edomite is capable of that will be coming out, man. So you getting your child taken away is that's the tip of the iceberg, because that's been happening. All right, but you know how Jake is, and really just people in general, it really don't mean shit unless it's your child getting taken. Nobody really cares. And that's pretty much where we at. But people are about to understand and about to experience that a lot of their children are going to be taken. And this includes brothers that's in the truth. I mean, the scriptures also say that if you love your father, your mother, your children, or anything more than Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, that you're gonna be in trouble, basically. You're gonna have some answers, some questions to answer, and some suffering to go through. Now, of course, we all have to go through suffering, but you have to have the understanding when you're in this truth that those things have already been prescribed to us as a whole. There's nothing that you're going to do to get out of it. And even if you try to make a deal with this Edomite, all they're going to do is renege, just like they do every time they make a deal with somebody. These Edomites don't uphold their word. They've never been about holding up their word, and this includes with their own people. Okay, they're going to tell you something that they're going to do. You abide by what they say, thinking it's a fair deal, and then here comes the renege. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of people, they're going to fold because of this kid thing. And I tell brothers this all the time, man. Everybody's a tough guy right now. You know what I'm saying? And this is to myself first and foremost. Lord willing, the Lord keeps the spirit on me to not compromise with this damn Edomite. But, you know, you never know what the Lord has in store for you. All you can do is live in the moment and do what you have to do and do what you know that the Lord commands you to do. And Lord willing, the Lord continues to allow you to do those things. But one thing that Jake got to understand, like I said, is this is prescribed to you, man. You're not going to escape. And if you try to make a deal with this Edomite, you're going to find out the hard way that that's not the way to go. Okay, children are going to be taken away. Money is going to be cut off. Food is going to be cut off. You might even have to be put to death. You know what I'm saying? Or you'll be given a choice where you can either take death or you can take what this Edomite has to offer. And it will behoove you to choose the latter, because this Edomite has something for you that's worse than death. And really, it's not the Edomite that has that for you. It's Yahweh Shemi Hawashai that has that for you. You know, the Apostle Tahar always says that this is the Most High's system. This is the Most High's charagma. It's the Most High that's compelling people to change their name to Pretty Tony. And, you know, if they decide that they're going to do it, even though they know that they're not supposed to, then that's on them. And that's what they were. That's what their lot was selected to be. Okay. Now, one thing that I would suggest, because the scriptures say that the knowledge of the events of aforetime, or the things that happen aforetime, are for our learning, roughly paraphrasing. So when you get an understanding of what we've been going through in the past, biblically, and, you know, even if you're in the secular history, but, you know, biblically first and foremost, then you understand that these things are going to happen. These things are coming. Now, of course, I'm not saying that just because you know that they're coming, that, you know, you're going to be able to take it with a coconut smile and it's going to be all kosher, because it's going to be pain involved in this, man. There's going to be sorrow involved in this, and that's guaranteed to us. And you are warned of that so that you can mentally prepare. All right, that's one of the reasons why we have these scriptures, is so that we can get our minds prepared for the real test. Okay, when you're a student in class, you get a textbook, you get lessons, you get homework, and all of these things. You do all these things building up to the culmination of the end of the course, where you have to take a final exam to find out if you've been studying and if you have understanding in what's being taught. Okay, and it's the same thing with this truth, man. We're given the things that we need to prepare ourselves, and those of us that have been selected to make it to the end in the beginning will be prepared. Lord willing, I be of that number. Lord willing, all of the men that are preaching this doctrine and truth and sincerity also be of that number. Okay, but one thing that we got to understand, man, is that this is not going to be free, man. We got a problem with that in Israel, where we want shit. We want shit for free, man. We don't want to have to go through it to get to it, so to say. And I'm guilty of that in the past as well, and I'm still trying to eradicate that completely from myself. And, you know, through the spirit and power of through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemi Hawashai, Lord willing, I'll be able to do that. But, you know, it starts off with having that understanding first, man. It starts off with attaining the knowledge and seeking the knowledge first, and then holding yourself accountable after that. And Lord willing, the Lord allows you to shake these demons off of you to become the best version of yourself, because that's what this whole process is about, man. See, the Lord is not accepting any niggas into the kingdom, man. The Lord is not accepting people who don't come how he wants them to come, man. And the only way for you to be changed is through afflictions, is through learning lessons the hard way. Because unfortunately, we've already been given an easy opportunity, man. When Moses came down with the laws from Mount Sinai, that was our easy opportunity. Okay, we had an opportunity to just decide to do it the right way from the beginning, without going through too many hardships post-Egypt. Of course, going through the captivity in Egypt was a hardship. I'm not saying it wasn't, but after we got out of there, we were given the laws and given the chance to just abide and subside in the laws, and we didn't do that. Okay, so now we got to go around the hard way, and ultimately, like the elder brother Yakia says, these things are really to make us better versions of ourselves. It's not senseless punishment, and it's not vindictive punishment either, man. Okay, gold is tried in the fire, as the scriptures say, and acceptable men tried in the furnace of affliction. So you gonna have to go through some things to get to this, man. And it don't matter if you've been living your life righteously all the way through or not. I tell this to people all the time, especially to these Edomites and these heathens that may disagree with the fact that they all have to go into slavery when the Lord comes back, whether they partook in the actual act of enslaving Israelites or not. And the simple answer is this, man. Eleazar was a righteous man, and when them Greeks came and told him to eat that swine and he didn't want to do it, he got put to death for that. Okay, the woman with her 7 sons, or that I don't know, it's either 7 or I don't know the exact number, so Salakia if that's the wrong answer. But the woman and her sons, they righteously declined to do what these Edomites told them to do, and they had to get put to death for that. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you live in your life righteously or if you're doing everything to the T, because this is something that's prescribed to a nation. All right, and if you're a part of the nation that these things are prescribed to, then you're gonna have to bite down and you're gonna have to take it, man. It doesn't matter if what you did was right or wrong. You don't know what you did in another life. Okay, so you can be living righteously this life, but you still got things on your tab that you got to pay for from last time, and you don't know that. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you think you're living righteously, if you think you've been doing things the right way for this amount of years, or even some people who may have been born into this truth. That's irrelevant when it comes to whether you're going to deal with Jacob's trouble or not. Now, will there be varying degrees of hardship that brothers are going to have to go to? Yes. Okay, some brothers are going to have to lay their life down. Some brothers are not going to have to do that. But that doesn't mean that the hardship and the strife is not included, okay? This is a nation. This is about a nation. This is not about individuals. And as I said, I mean, even Yahushua himself lived a complete life of righteousness. Didn't sin once. Didn't compromise once. Kept his integrity. And he had to go through what he had to go through for the nation of Israel to be saved. All right, the same thing with Job. The scriptures is littered with stories of men who lived righteous lives and still had to suffer the afflictions and the trials and the tribulations to become better. Because those things are prescribed to Israelites. Why? Because Israelites are supposed to be the best people on the planet Earth and a people after the Most High. But the only way that you're going to get to that is through the furnace of affliction. Okay? But Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, B'Shem Rakak Wadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles, the elders, and the men of great millstone, as well as those men who preach and teach the likewise doctrine. No compromises, not mixing it to fix it. And I want to say shalom and Kwam Yasharala and Ababa Ball to all the Akim and a few Akwat that may be listening. All right, we almost out of here, and we got next, Lord willing. And Lord willing, all of you brothers and you sisters, myself included, that are doing this work in truth and sincerity, be of that number, okay? Shalom and Ababa Ball.